try path on the right side, put it up in your mind. But did you ever try path on the left side, put it up in your mind? It's gonna be hard. You got try roll your mind. You got try roll your mind. You got try roll your mind. You got
family I used to have. I feel like everything's so different now. Sitting by the fire as we'd watch the flames burn out. I miss the days I wasn't afraid. Now I always have my guard up. Hands on my face, I learned to cope with the pain. I know that people think I'm trying to get attention, but in reality I'm trying to send a message. I know there's kids out there that are going through the same thing, and if you're one of them, I hope to help your suffering. Just know it will get better, and these feelings do not stay the same. No, they don't stay the same. I don't wanna make you feel bad, but you kinda ruined my life. You hurt me and ruined my life. And I don't wanna make you feel bad, but you kinda ruined my life. You hurt me and ruined my life. You hurt me and ruined my life. Oh. You hurt me and ruined my life. I lost a couple friends on my way up. I took a couple L's, but that's just normal talk. I popped a couple pills, but they don't do much. And now I take Prozac in the morning with some other stuff. But why did I get into this? I feel like this is all a dream. But when I wake up, look around, this isn't even make-believe. So I sit in the corner thinking back to all the memories. I grew up with these fake beliefs, but time I find a remedy. I don't wanna make you feel bad, but you kinda ruined my life. You hurt me and ruined my life. And I don't wanna make you feel bad, but you kinda ruined my life. You hurt me and ruined my life. You hurt me and ruined my life. Yeah. Oh, you hurt me. Oh, you hurt me. You hurt me and ruined my You hurt me and ruined my life.
I'm lost in a city, still so far from home. I've searched for you all my life. Cast out like a shadow, racing towards the light. I pray to see you one more time. city nights and satellites. When I'm old and losing sight, carry me home all through the night. I need your love, I need your light, like city nights and satellites. When I'm old and losing sight, carry me home all through the night.
I don't know if I'm changing over. In the moonlight I can't kill this feeling sober, so it starts to come alive. I don't know what starts to control me. I let it go, another soul is underneath. I don't really care about this all. It's the fall that kills me. With our back against the wall, just feed the beast and you'll see. Wait for me. I don't want time inside my reality. Wait for me. I don't want your mind to remember me. I feel like that we're getting closer to a brand new night. The past is finally getting over. I really think it's time to say goodbye. I don't know what starts to control me. I let it go, another soul is underneath. I don't really care about this all. It's the fall that kills me. With
kind of, I think, the region of Brazil doing at this tournament. Imperial is not doing too hot. Of course, Furia is still waiting in the Legend stage. But at some point, there was an expectation of how much will they be able to step up and take over, and who's going to be the best team coming out of Brazil. They're a little bit of a way off there. I would like to say as well, they've had some trouble this year in terms of fielding their full roster. Not that that's an excuse before the match has even started, but those are things that matter when you make changes within a team.
I'm loving it. I hope the mic's pick up on that.
I think they do, because if we
really
can
hope.
hear it, I think people are home feel it.
That is
Exit
great.
gave an interview at the RMR, and he talked about Bit and said, like, Bit's a monster. He watches like 15 demos a day. He has so much to give us. But that's also tricky, right? Because he probably has a lot that he wants to teach them and a lot that he wants to implement. And it's about taking it one step at a time.
Yeah, and you can't just pile all information into a brain and think it will stick. You need time to reflect, you need to digest it, and that takes time to make sense for everyone, right?
Overpass.
A little bit of overpass.
Oh.
I was looking at the stats, and I realized it's a map that both teams affectionate a little bit. I knew Astralis would probably allow to go through, and this is where we circle back to our conversation about Blame if the space he's taking, about config and the duels he's taking as well. Good for MIBR. They've been tried and tested on overpass here, and I think it's a very important aspect to consider when you're at an event. You've played the map once, and you've had this very fresh reminder what went wrong, what we have to be careful about. So playing a map twice bodes well for MIBR, if anything.
So how do you shut down Blame F? Always being in your head. How do you shut down?
I mean, I told you, honestly, I think I tailor a plan to actually go and fight him. I fight him. I think Blame F is the most dangerous when he takes a second attention fight during the round. When there is a trade happening in one area and he realizes, now is my timing, I have a 1v1, I'll push. Worst case, I have information. Don't let him be the second fight. Let it be the first fight.
I disagree.
You can tell me you disagree, it's fine. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Because Blame F usually is so methodical. He is always in a safe position when action is going around on the map, and then he finds the timing to take that space. I think it's too far of a leap to push him into those defensive areas. I think you're going to be off on your rotations. You're going to be committing way too much men trying to get him out of the map.
I like it. Kind of the dual perspective here.
That is
What do you have to say about that?
I would agree on the T side. I think on the CT side, I maintain my point.
Yes.
I think on the CT side, if you know where Blame F is playing, doesn't matter. Just tailor your game plan, go against him, trade against him, because the rest of the Astralis core will take less space if allowed, whereas Blame is just going to eat the map as soon as he realizes he can do it.
What a great matchup. Also remembering for the people at home, if you win this, you're then all of a sudden a 2-1, just one best of 3 away from Legends. If not, you are at 1-2, and then it becomes so dicey. We saw how fired up MIBR is. Hope they can contain that and channel that in the correct way, and if our casters can do the same.
I'm looking for Blame F right now. You've made him sound terrifying, like he could be here at any moment. And that's kind of how he strikes, right? Oftentimes finds himself in the backlines playing this. I think Devil Walker Maniac have like a good bit of like a disagreement, like a healthy disagreement as to how to approach him, right? Do you want to try and fight him? You know he's a very, very safe player, right? He's not going to get caught out easy. So I kind of lean more in favor of like Devil Walk's argument of like, nah, man, he's just too scary, too safe to go running into. You don't want to do that.
I mean,
I think MIBR are going to have their work cut out for them today.
Devil Walk 2 majors, Maniac 0. Look, that's all I'm saying, okay? The numbers speak for themselves. Right? The numbers should tell the full story. But yeah, ultimately, this is not going to be an easy game for MIBR. They're not coming in this favourite. They're not, taking on a battered and bruised 9Z with a struggling AWP. That was part of the reason they won Overpass yesterday, right? MIBR played a great T side, but you can't look at that game without recognizing the difficulties Lucan had. He didn't get a single AWP kill on the entire CT side in that map. So it was rough. It was really rough. It was just a one-man army. If you look at the numbers, it was just max 20 and 5.5, and everyone else below 7 kills in the entire CT side. So you're not going to get that weak CT side for Astralis. They've got a solid B hold on this map. I think this is actually one of the maps that Zip is still looking really, really good on that B bomb site, and he's had some good games so far. So I'm holding a lot of positivity in my head for Astralis right now, and I think that one's a safe bet.
I also think, because I found myself kind of becoming like a little bit of an MIBR fan in that, like, I like the progression that this team's on. I think you see them get better event to event, and they definitely earned the spot here. You could tell how much it meant to them back at the RMRs. But when you look at Astralis, I think you've met them at a very bad time. Obviously, they copped that out to Vitality just the other day, and And I think that hit hard, really.
Yeah.
I think that's going to piss someone like Config off. I think it's going to fire him up to try and really show that, you know, he's got what it takes individually to be the Dane that everyone's talking about, right? So I think you're going to have a very fired up Config. I'm assuming with that, you know, the kind of Config BlameF duo that you have going on.
Always fun.
I think that's going to be a pretty scary thing to run into. And we haven't even really get to talk about Farley yet, right? Who obviously is not going to have the same kind of lack of AWPing presence we had in the 9Z game yesterday. So, yeah, I do think this is going to be a rough one for MIBR, but anything they can accomplish, it's going to be worth a hell of a lot in my eyes. Let's see, they got a T-side start, Astralis with the CT half to open up. Bit of util on Woody, but that's the extent of it here for MIBR. So what have they got up their sleeve?
Yeah, some clutch players, some great aimers, some young guns. We'll have to see if they can put them all to use here on this T side. Fast through the connector. Astralis have monster flashes set up, but who will be the monstrous men in this round? It's MIBR storming the board up connector. Trying to commit to A, it seems like. No hesitation. Plays looking quick. Peek's good shot. Flashbang coming over. He takes down Cello. Called into a bit of a pause here at MIBR. The flank was allowed, but Farley won't give up the kill, just in case they're still holding, and they are. Turtle waits in the party. MIBR would love a get-out clause. They'd love a way back, but they won't be able to take it. It's instead into this 4-strong A defense. Astralis are doubting themselves. Farley's gone all the way back, but he has no reason to do so. They don't need to rotate right now. Farley's got B, he's got the info. Maybe there was a paranoia like, hey, someone could have crept behind you. And while that was possible through Monster, Astralis don't need to pull everyone off the site. They leave 3 still here, and MIBR very close and very committed.
Yeah, I think if anything, all the footsteps you just heard if you're MIBR kind of makes it weird. You're like, where are they? You know, what have they just done? Like all that moving around. Are there players down at B? Are they now reinforced on A? You don't really know. It's kind of, it's a weird one now, and MIBR are just going to commit in towards this A bomb site. BlameF waiting. Tucked on in. Config here to help out. It's not going to be an easy time. Zip's even challenging from the dumpster. And even him being here, just drawing them into this player at truck that they still don't know about in Config is massive. They'll clear him. They will check for him. They've got him pincered in. And Jota and Turtle are good for a killer piece. Farley can't connect. He can't connect the thing. And now the bomb's going down inside of the A site. Running up through the short side. He's dead. And MIBR turn that one around from a 4-on-5.
No. You don't want to give these guys a pistol. Listen to them, Harry. Listen to their screaming. There was a scream off coming into this game. Trace was trying to give his best oomph as well, just to try and rival that of the Brazilians. But wow, how do you turn that around? The full A stack for Astralis, the perfect flank timing for Farley, and a few whiff shots here and there. Glocks in the face. Perfect pistol for MIBR. You love to see it. Astralis going to come in with the guns instantly. They don't wait around. Nade, quick peek for Glaive. He won't hang around though. Bit of damage to Cello, but it's a B default lean for MIBR. They're taking connector. Jota's in his common position, tucked inside of the B short area, able to catch re-aggression. Meanwhile, Kong getting cleared with utility, and MIBR trying to be methodical on their mid take.
Yeah, Jota might be occupying the same role as normal in terms of this B lurker, but he is going about it in different ways. Oftentimes, you know, in the 9Z game, for example, it was very much monster-orientated and trying to find these timings, whereas here versus Astralis, it's clear he's trying to switch things up, right, try to keep them guessing. They've done their research. They'll be ready for his B lurking, so he's trying to keep the positions fresh at least. And he's gone from being more of someone looking at open over towards B on timings, as instead someone just denying short control and denying that flow of info to the Astralis squad. Now, that smoke is problematic. It's just going to slow you down a little bit. And with only 40 seconds left, you know, by the time that clears, there's going to be about 30 left on the clock. It's still timing enough to make this play happen. But Zip has a re-smoke. Unfortunately, he's down on this B site, so that's not going to get to play into it. Oh, that was a chance for Farley. Goes back in. Second time is the charm for this scout. And he's even ready for more up the short side. Config. No. The 5-7, it's only one. The scout is still delivering, though, back inside of A. These Danish scouts not to be underestimated, but it is brushed aside. In come the AKs. Woody will trade it to 1v2, and Blame swings him wide to steal that one away. Astralis are right back on the board, and they're getting loud now as well. They're going to try and match MIBR. in the hype, in the loudness.
I can't wait for the continued screaming that's going to be coming across those boards. Farley, what a round from the scout as well. Picks 2 out, even gets that long player whose timing he missed for a good moment. Looked like Jota may have had the drop. And I don't know how Blame goes from being tucked divided, getting spammed to 30, and somehow makes it all the way back to truck with the cover of Config and the scout. Sick round out of Astralis. They steal a force buy, and they put MIBR on the back pedal. Even worse weaponry for them now. Not even the benefit of the scout, no range. A single deagle catches the middle, and Cello with a bomb won't commit. Astralis immediately take their get out route. Well, for Blame, it's not a get out, it's a get in. Pushes up deep on the long side after showing himself in toilets. And exit. Awkward turn timing. Looking to farm his ecos. He's always there when the pistols are coming. Blame is running. But Farley went all the way back. He's going to have to re-peek on long. They've got the M4. It's just low. That's a lovely D-Gutter Turtle. Maybe there's still hope.
It's boding well that like the 2 big-time performers, Turtle and Jota, are really looking good early on, right? They were instrumental to winning the pistol. Now they're the ones putting up numbers in this round. It is just Jota left standing in this 1v3. So what was once looking kind of good for MIBR has quickly turned sour. They got to try and get past Config over here at long. This guy is out for blood, and the pillar's going to save him, man. It's like a cartoon. He just shrinks down behind it. There's no getting rid of him. It soaks up the shots, and Astralis in with a second. They get that conversion, and now it's just an eco for MIBR.
Just his biceps poking out. Chowing down on his spinach. But yeah, eyes getting popped in that one for MIBR as they were meant to be. It's only pistols. It's a full eco now, just running it down B perhaps. Connector stacked, mid taken back, and with that deep Molotov Blame, he hears pistols and nom, 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 nom. He's hungry. Ooh, he's starving his Blame. They have so much
They're clearing
control.
everything.
Guys, they're all
MIBR are literally stuck here in spawn. This is so weird. Oh, no.
Make that money.
Oh,
who flashes that? Come on, guys.
Imagine, man, you're playing the little, nightclub corner, and then, like, just full white. And you're thinking, like, why are they flashing spawn for crying out loud? Can't catch a break. Farley's even getting some of the ecos that spread onto him now.
That was beautiful. They got all 5 kills with the MP9s. Oh, well, actually, I think 4. But, yeah, really, really nice to see Astralis. Even the little details, man, they go a long way. Farming up that cash. Meanwhile, B-Stream, Cole are taking on Outsiders. Right now, they're winning. Early days, though, Outsiders. They're like a 30-rounder where we're from. But maybe NA's healing. We'll have to see.
If an Outsiders game doesn't go 30 rounds, that's a bad sign.
Yeah, true.
Oh, mid-fight. Attempt at it. Farley with a missed shot. And that opportunity to take the opener. Jota walking out through the short smoke. Back to what he does best, which is these B lurks, right? The rest of MIBR trying to work a bit of con control, trying to take middle. Blame F is down here in the connector, though. Right place, right time, as is often the case with this guy. Just tucked in. If he can multi-kill here, that is a big problem for MIBR. They're going to burn him out. Glaive setting him up with a flash. Ooh, it's a good flashbang. And that kind of pulls a bit of uncertainty into it now. Where's Blame F gotten to? He's challenging at top con. He knows he's trapped. He's stuck. They've got him boxed in. This is where you cage the animal. The claws are out now. Blame F with 1. Getting challenged from both sides. He's lost his teammate in middle. He's got to do it all alone. They've boxed him in, but they're stuck in here with him. Not the other way around. He's in with a 3rd. Exit and Jota left up in the 2-on-3. They've lost everybody else, and they're losing map control by the 2nd. Zip even pushing up through Monster. He's going to have this stab onto Jota. There's really nothing he can do about it as he comes on through. There's Zip with the kill. And it's Exit 1v3, has to go and get the bomb, and even once he's got it, he would have 25 seconds to win the round. He's saving.
I love how disrespectful Astralis are playing right now. They are not scared. You know, even though Config gets kind of hung out to dry there in middle, he saves Blame's life, and then Blame ducks back down connector. But boy, does he make up for that kill as he comes in with 3 kills, all from the stairwell. Zips pushing Monster. I mean, yeah, Astralis are just not letting MIBR run their T-side rounds. And those are the worst when you can't even like establish your defaults and take middle control, because Astralis is just in your face the entire time. And now, for the rest of the half, MIBR are going to have to be really methodical on clearing connector, just because Blame has set the precedent of being down in the dungeons. But I doubt he'll just be going for it in back-to-back rounds. Just want to keep MIBR on their toes. They're going to call attack. Like said, you know, there's a lot to teach these guys. A lot they want to learn. But don't want information overload for MIBR. Sometimes you just got to focus on hitting those heads when Astralis is just dueling you down middle.
Yeah, I mean, as is often the case, right? You want to try and find a simple issue to a complex problem. And well, no one's got more complexity to them than Blame F and Config as this duo over in middle.
Nice. And they're back to mid.
Yeah, they keep taking space, man. If MIBR are going to give it to them, Astralis are going to take it. More specifically, Blame F's going to take it. Time and time again, you know, working this mid control. And I mean, look at how fearful MIBR are to even get out into mid. They know this could happen. They know there's a chance of it. cello, he might be able to find a bit of a gap here.
Every eco round, Blame has pushed middle. He has been timed, though. You're right. cello's gotten out behind him, but... This is... Oh, cello's going back to check it, but he did as much as he could. He still missed the timing. Blame makes it into T-spawn. And so what Astralis will give up A, because Blame said no one's here unless they come connector. No one's here. Well, he's about to kill the entirety of the D play. Bye-bye, Jota. Trying to run up to that top site. He's saying, cello, how did you let him by?
In an abstract way, if you can deal with Blame F and Con.
Oh,
no, he's going to get the backstab. I was going to say, if you could deal with him, maybe this timing on cello was huge. You're kind of glad that it was just Jota who discovered the lurk, but no one else really reacted to that information. Yeah. It's like they thought Blame was going to give a lot more respect than he was. And I mean, if any of these other anti-ecos or even the rifle rounds have been anything to go by, it's that this guy doesn't give you respect. And I mean, eventually it might even dawn on Astralis, like he could have hit the timing, and yeah, it has. Blame said, yeah, I guess there was a tiny gap, and there was a tiny gap, and now they found the last man. They know where he is. They're going to get rid of him. Astralis are on fire, 5-1 up, as they chain all these rounds together on the back of winning the force buy in round 2.
It's this is insane, just what Blame's doing already, and we're only rounds in. We haven't even had to see Farley on the AWP. Really, he's fired a couple of shots, but, you know... This is a great CT AWP map, and Blame is stealing all the glory.
Tell you what, though, we got our answer to the analyst questions, right? Maniac said, try fight Blame. Well, they've been trying.
Yeah, well, he's actually trying to fight them. I don't think they want to. They moonwalked into him in Con that round. All right, a gun round, though. An AWP for Woody. Let's see what they've got for us. Farley is going to late peek mid, flashed out. Fires off. Blame's back in Con in a rifle round. And MIBR, they've at least taken that mid-control. Take what you can get. So Farley's boosted for long. Blame with the door off. Does have to carry a lot more angles, but he's got teammates supporting from B short side. Farley stays on despite the flashback. Love that re-peek, and he gets away with a freebie. He really wanted to get value out of that position. Didn't want to give them the entirety of long in a 5-on-5. So strip back to 0-7 is cello. And Farley's got a new angle.
It's so uncomfortable right now for MIBR, man. Every corner could have a Dane just hidden. Oh, that's a missed shot. Okay, Farley gonna have to back up out of there. They're already closer on the angle than he's ready for. Even though he nails that, the trade should come in for Turtle. There's the trade kill. Farley now brushed aside, But down here in Con, remember that Blame F fella? Oh, well, Jota does, and he's going to deal with him. Config holds the line with a double and drops the bomb out the front of the toilets. He's here to clean up, and he will miss the third. Can't quite get it over the line. Jota trying to clutch this re-swing at a glaive, looks to seal his fate, and there it is. Wide on the dice box. Astralis get it back under control.
It's like a wave game, man. Every time you kill one, a new Dane is rotated up CT silently. He's not ready for the fourth man in that A bomb site. Yeah, really, really nice shooting from Config as well on default. Realizes Turtle's up close, but takes the deep player first while the guard was down, and Glaive is good to close the round. This is just so smooth right now for Astralis. On fire. MIBR, more pistols, Blame, more mid-pushing, I can only presume. They smoked the molly, first time they've done it. They wanted that control quickly. They've ruffled the timings. Farley, he's close with the M4, but he can farm here. Swinging wide for a double. Blame back in con with a nice nade combo. Gets almost the second, but he's back with pistol. Blame is just, oh, he's the Eco Cobra. Send him to North America, he'll fit right in. It's sickening. He's not even getting punished for his madness. And that makes it all the better.
And I love it. Like, in that moment, Farley's like, you know, WWBD. What would Blame do in the eco? Oh, he'd just swing him, wouldn't he? And that's exactly what Farley does. Doubles up over in mid, helped out by Blame and Con. Jota all alone. And I mean, this guy's like a really good clutch player, but it's not like he ever has a lot to go on in these clutches. Like, you don't have the bomb, it's lost in Con, you don't have any map control, don't really know what's happening. Everything's just kind of a big, terrifying unknown. You look at the mini-map and it's all a void where death is around every corner. He's literally having to check behind him every step of the way for someone rapping. And there is someone rapping, it's it, dropping a new diss track on him. So 7-1, Astralis still building upon this early turnaround and showing no signs of stopping. For MIBR, it looks so uncomfortable. I'm not used to seeing this team look so vulnerable, so like they're not even able to get into a spot to run anything. Like, before you even get to the parts of the map that actually let you set up for an exec, you know, for like a proper A play, or maybe you're trying to take short so you can go for like a bit of a B split. You're not even surviving the journey. You know, the round begins, you try to take those early bits of control that you're used to getting for free. I'm talking, you know, over towards party, over towards long, maybe out in middle, maybe you're trying to get connector. You know, these are all kind of things that you do expect to fight in, but normally you're able to trade it, you're able to get that control. And for MIBR, they can't even get out of the starting gate.
Well, another rifle round, another attempt. I'd love to see a B default lane. MIBR, what they were doing really well yesterday was B popping on this T side out monster, so maybe we'll see more of that later. But when Blame has this much mid control, they just know the flank is inevitable. They needed that kill, so massive opener for Cello. This has freed up so much of the map, but they might think Con is a little clearer as a result. It's not. Config is in Con, but they've crept the way through, and he's been caught off. No announcement this time for MIBR. Contact plays on both ends, and they win the opening fights. True test for Astralis now. A 3-on-5. They have the orb, but MIBR could be anywhere. With their default finding picks in 2 positions, nothing is certified, nothing is guaranteed. Jota hit that molly, but I don't know if he knows. Good peek, catches him. Farley dies in toilets to the orb though, and now MIBR can just hit A.
Yeah, Astralis are rotating up. Like, they still have a chance in this one. Blade believes, but goes running through, and that's to his death. They're already up in the site. They're already too deep. Zips moving in with his knife out. What's he looking for? What does he want to try and do here? 1 versus 4. He's put himself in a dangerous spot, going deep in towards heaven. Don't imagine he goes much further than this. The AK is pretty precious. He'd love to hold on to it. So MIBR, they find the recipe for success. And I tell you what, Cello was 0-8 coming into that. The 1 kill he gets is on the guy, you know, the guy to take down. Blame F, trying to get aggro in mid, fell to Cello, the man who was yet to frag, and it just felt like it gave them so much freedom in the round to approach it however they want. And on the back of it, MIBR will finally break this 7-round streak for Astralis, coming in with another little round, but it can't afford to be a one and done. You know, they had success in the pistol. They turned around a 4v5 to win it. But then they immediately lost the follow-up. They didn't get those conversions. They can't afford to have this be another opportunity that just sails on by.
Astralis are pulling out a new sneaky little idea. Double AWP as well. Config staying down on this B site with his. We have a triple mid take for Astralis. I like it. Double molly setup. One of the misses though. And so we will have that mid control for free. All it took was one smoke and they get into the playground. Is that something Astralis are cognizant of? Cello again looking for this opener, being methodical. But with AWPs on many angles, you've got to be careful. Glaive's going to rotate back down. Oh no, he's just trading out with Farley. Giving him some util. Before he sets up towards B. Blame. He gets the rematch and he wins it this time. Long is completely open. He can escape with that smoke. Nice little corridor given to get away, and Farley hits another easy shot into Turtle. The doom, the downfall of MIBR. Even a leg for Config as Jota tries to escape. He didn't get out. Config doesn't seem to know that, but it's fine. He's done his damage. Just hang out. Wait for this regroup at B. It's all MIBR have. If this isn't already a save, which it might be.
Yeah, if they save, you know, they can buy up next. So that's why they're going to look to get out of here with these guns, keep the AWP in play. Dude, I mean, you said it a couple of rounds ago. I kind of want to see a B play out of MIBR. I really do. They haven't tried one yet. Nothing proper. You know, outside of these kind of like lurks from Jota, which are a real consistency, we haven't really seen any love down towards this B bomb site. And in a few of these rounds now, Astralis have lent into a double B play early on, right, with a lot of attention on middle and con, because that's where MIBR have been going. And so I think, you know, you haven't even explored this option yet. You've just kind of completely written it off. Your rounds are won or lost based on the successes in middle. And don't get me wrong, you know, you've had 2 successful attempts at these A plays, but that's out of 10. Those are not good odds. And so I would love to see, you know, just something a little more basic in a way, just to kind of put the fear in Astralis that at any moment a fast B could come down the pipeline. Don't even have to win the round necessarily. Just put the fear back in them. Make them consider it, make them lean away from some of these AAA leans that we're seeing early on. Force a bit of respect out of the Danes. Because right now you're getting none of it.
Oh, they've read it, man. Astralis literally read it instantly. It's a B default, and Astralis have 3 in the site and 2 in connector, right? Farley's sort of leaning middle for that info, making sure MIBR can't just walk past them into A. But if MIBR to explode B right now, which looks like they're ready to do, Astralis are going to have instant rotates into this site. Flash is dodged, but the second one gets Jota in the face as he commits to the fight. And that's all they had. They weren't ready to 5B. They were just hoping Jota could free up some room. Astralis collapsed upon this. And MIBR now have to go and take middle at a minute. Farley's still sitting on his angle, very patient. The gap is long, right? MIBR could have walked all the way through A. It has to be considered at some point. And so Glaive will begin his rotate up. But flashes usually announce that play. They flash long. Farley knows. And he is still so ready for this fight. Shouldn't be a difficult adjustment if they come out through middle first. He hears the jump up. Shadow is easy. Farley wants more. There's 2. Bombs loose. Orb won't connect. And Farley goes back for a third. Finally punished. Even though they molly off Blame, there's 20 seconds. As soon as that molly fades, Blame is pushing. And he's going to win the round. They're not even playing for it. Bombs loose. Orb's gone back to spawn. Exit might just have to save here.
Not the best place to save in either. You'll note because of the alarming amounts of danger, which oftentimes it's best to avoid, he's kind of right in the middle of all of it. Woody isn't even safe. He's like all the way back in T-spawn. Luckily enough, Zips showing a bit of respect, not going all the way on the hunt, just cleared out T-spawn. And so they get out with the AWP and the AK at least, right? That's something to hold on to, but there's no ignoring just how one-sided this has been. It won't take much to make this a T-side, you know, something you can work with. You can work with 4 or 5 rounds, but you definitely can't work with 2. So we need to have that turnaround soon, and it might never come for MIBR. It might just be Astralis, you know, completely dominating them as the story of this game.
Yeah, it's kind of reassuring. I'm liking when Astralis are playing underdogs, they are just keeping it clean, right? Like that game versus IHC, they destroyed them. It wasn't a competition on a map that IHC, managed to take complexity the distance on. Yeah, the Vitality game didn't go to plan, but Vitality are on one right now. They're in very good form. So it seems. So Astralis, who have certainly been shaky, right? Peaking in their first event, back at Blast with this roster, and then going a little bit colder. This could be the time for them to step up at the major, where many of these players have done their best work. Or at least for the old boys of this roster. MIBR just so timid in middle. And with good reason. Farley's been everywhere. Now he's back on the site. First time Astralis have played an extremely passive round from the offset. Double monster setup just in case. Config opening B, sure. And MIBR just going to contact all the way up A. This is a round of trading. If they can keep a tight spacing and trade onto this AWP, clear Blame out of the corner, a post-plant means Astralis are very constricted. They're so deep down at the monster side at B that it's less about the retake and more about the hold.
Farley going to get the info on that jump spot. Oh, they're moving in. Blame is blind. Still going to hold the line with the first, even though they checked. They didn't really believe it. And so Blame F's gotten away with a double. That will be the end of the line for Blame. The A side falls, a 3-on-3. Chance for MIBR here. That bomb still yet to cross as it's holding connector. But he's going to have to leave eventually. Waits for that molly to fade. Now the plant comes in. He waits for the plant spot. Oh, he hit him. Tagged him once. Config showing us some tricks here with the spam. MIBR all long side. They need to reroute a player into the bathrooms, and that's where we have Exit heading now. Taking up position on the short side. These players at long might feel the urge to get involved. Might have to fight this, especially with this molly now going out to deny that close peek. Things get problematic. Suddenly Exit needs to keep an eye on the bomb. He's flashed off the angle. They're sticking it. If he doesn't fight now, that's the round. And Astralis are up onto 10. They remain composed the entire time in that 3-on-3. They never get carried away. They never get ahead of themselves. It's very measured. It's very calculated. And it all comes together in classic, Glaive fashion.
Yeah, excellent utility, man. They hadn't bunked it all at B because there was never any B noise at the start of the round. They had a molly, they had a smoke, they had double flashes. That was just so clean for Astralis. Not a chance for MIBR with that Molotov at long, and that was the bulk of them were holding. Yeah, also, cello 1 and 11. Lazy clear, man. Doesn't check Blame on the truck, right? He gets so tunneled on Farley back behind Dice that he just half checks Blame, and that's the problem. Blame doubles up in that round again. Farley's even found the first. They don't even know that Blame's in the middle of the fountain. Finally put down. Farley, though, right round the corner. He's got to hit it, and he does do his job. cello follows up, though, this time around. So MIBR at least get a 3-on-3 early, and this is it. This is what I wanted to see. Back to a B round. They leave Jota in short tunnel from the start, and they go to join him. Glaive's read it. Of course he has.
I mean, it's helped by Config taking all this space over on short. He says, listen, boss, man, I've got A. You guys go worry about B. It's Zip and Glaive, two old boys of Astralis down here inside of this site. Zip will get one, but Glaive can't trade. Exit's doubled. And suddenly the problems start to tip all over for Config, who drops down for this retake. Up in the heavens, armed with the orb. He's looking in for a chance.
Oh, Jota.
Jota's pushed all the way into CT. Right now, he's hoping that Exit gives him a fight, but it's not going to happen. Dropping down, this should be heard. They know all about it. On the angle is Exit, waiting with a third up his sleeve. Went back to grab the orb because he's low on health, and he uses it to seal the deal on the round. MIBR able to get into that B bomb site, and I almost wonder if that could tempt them to have more of these rounds end over towards B.
Yeah, I'm not surprised they don't want to be running B rushes and taking spawns out monster. Like, it's just Jota working short or going up monster solo, right? Astralis' util is incredible. They've done a lot of double monster setups, although that's something MIBR haven't seen often. But yeah, in a 3-on-3, it's a great round to hit the B bomb site, even with the read for Astralis. Beautiful shot for Farley in middle. And yeah, when you're running into mid and you're running into Farley and Blame, and they're doing what they've been doing all game, it screams just try the other site a
They're
little bit.
33 and 16 on the A-bomb site. Like, it's insanity. So
and Jota, like, how, what's he expected to do? They're not even flashing him into water. He is solo lurking it. He just walks through the smoke. Labor's there. It's very rough to be in Jota's position in this game when you're getting so little support from your team. Yeah, this is just excellent for Astralis. And they're not going to feed this AWP in a 5-on-3, I'll tell you that.
It feels really bad because I think, MIBR would love to put someone else with Jota to try and make his time a little bit easier, but it's like, you don't feel like you have the resources. It's literally taking everything you've got to put a stop to these mid pushes. And even then, you're still not really stopping the mid pushes. So, yeah, it's super awkward for the guy. I think it's kind of incredible that he even has had the impact he's been able to find down there. However limited it may be, the fact he's doing it alone. Farley over on the short side. AWP scoped up, not really been missing, but that one will sail on by the divider player. Backs out, but he's flashed himself back in. He wants to keep fighting for this. Eventually decides to concede. Doesn't want to get caught overextending with so little time. Hang on, are they saving? They're saving.
Yeah, man.
MIBR have just written this one off. They were set for the A play. They want to try and get away with the guns, but nothing's guaranteed. Nothing's assured. It's a flawless round for Astralis. They can throw some money into this one. The last of the half coming up next, and if they take anyone away after time, that's devastating. Luckily enough, Zip will get silenced by Woody, and so these three players are at least given the room to save.
It is just so exciting watching Farley in this team because they needed a flashy AWP, but they needed someone with confidence. I think Lucky got a lot of flack, and I don't think he deserved much of it because it is so hard coming into this roster as especially a younger player, limited experience. When everyone's thinking back to the days of Device, it's very hard. But Lucky was such a passive player. He was such an angle holder. Farley is, you can just see it, man. He's just a completely different style. So keen to flash himself back in. So keen to reposition, get involved, get to pick. He's on the other side of the map. Like, he's exactly what Astralis needed in terms of an aggressive AWP. But at the same time, he's very rarely giving up openings. Sure, this is a game where he's CT side overpassing. They're a big favorite, but this is, I don't know, Farley just looks so much more comfortable in this team. He fits the identity better. You have so many powerful, aggressive pieces in Blame and Config, and Farley joins them, right by their side. I'm really enjoying watching him on this team right now, in this game especially. MIBR back to the B side with this AWP, but insta-smoked, insta-molly, nothing comes for free.
To nade the boost, but nobody's there. I mean, now that you've seen the triple nades as well, there's a lot of bodies outside of Monster, so Astralis should be prepared for something quick into the B site here. There is a world where MIBR can look to go back, but it doesn't look like they want to. They seem pretty dedicated towards this B play.
How does Blade get out of that molly? Not a tick of damage, not a sound cue in sight. Farley's back to this mid setup as well. They don't even care about A. Forget it. Farley's got to unlock. Easy kill. That's the one man. Config, even if he hits one bullet here onto exit, Blame's going to hear the tag. So he knows what to expect and connect to. He's already seen the Molotov. MIBR, you can't save here, boys. Unfortunately, you do have to rush out Monster, and Zip is more than up for the task. There's no weak link right now, but MIBR have to try and break their way through this chain.
They're moving in, they're going, they've hit the go button. First man out. They don't even have the bomb. They can't win this round. They're going to have to go back and get it. So yeah, it feels like they're kind of in their own head a bit. Like,
roasted.
That's it. That's the round, by the way. This is literally it. Astralis are just kind of playing for style points. Yeah, you get the kill, but you can't win it. So that's the end of this one. MIBR have that one just sail on past them. Yeah, they feel a little bit fried, honestly. Like, just foregoing the bomb in round 15. Don't get me wrong, mistakes can be made. Sure, you can always make that excuse, but not at the major, not versus Astralis, not versus a team that's looking very, very switched on with a kind of fire lit beneath them. MIBR are going to be kicking themselves for that one. And I think that's a bit of a sign of the times. Even when you cut to these player shots, man, they just look kind of devastated. It's not a pretty sight. Think about how loud, how hyped it was after winning the pistol, and now compare it to what we're seeing on our screens. It's very deflated. I think they already know that this one is just too far gone.
Mistakes can be made, and as a result, eliminations will be had. This is not an elim game. Don't worry just yet. It is a 1-1, though, so Astralis looking to go 2-1 up. And only 4 rounds from that fact. MIBR. Pistol round would be everything, but we saw sometimes it's not enough. As Astralis found that second round regardless. Blame with the P250. I have faith. Glaven's hit for the nades. Boost up on the B site, something Astralis didn't even need to use, as B was never under threat. And whatever MIBR's game plan was today, it didn't really go well. They wanted it to, but that's a couple of lovely shots for cello. He's been very quiet. He's just nailed 2 to the wall, and he gets out. I think he spotted Config. He should have spotted Config, but it doesn't look like he did. Backstab is just there in time. Config. Oh, the Glock finally finding the headshot. Jota's pushed all the way in through B. Something's never changed, but the rest of the MIBR stacked up on that top site. Astralis might just walk into this. Oh, they're resetting. This is the bomb. At 6th sense.
Dude, Glaive just doesn't trust it. As he's running back, something in his brain goes, now we haven't had this position. I don't know, man. I don't buy it. But Jota's 1 step ahead. Down in con. Needs to connect, and he gets himself a double. Dropping the bomb. Third man's in. And he will at least get that bomb back. Farley able to retrieve it, but with only 40 seconds, he's running into this B site. There's already 2 here. He's fighting 1 man, but there's the second. The right hook out of Turtle is enough to KO Farley. And so MIBR, they've managed to get both pistols so far.
Yep.
Kind of, isn't too reassuring considering the scoreline. Last time, they weren't able to convert it. This time, they need the conversion if they want to have any chance of keeping this series going.
Saw Turtle trying to hype up his team at the end there, like clapping them on. There weren't screams like round 1 of this map, but at least trying to get their head back in it. Every comeback starts with the round. You've got to be believing till the bitter end. But yeah, 1 round out of MIBR, and Astralis will at least give them the benefit of the doubt. The conversion round. Double long push with the rifles. Astralis are having fun in spawn. We saw the same round play out the other way, where MIBR constricted to T-spawn and connector. But in this one, MIBR won't close that net just yet. Would rather wait for these Glocks to walk into very uncomfortable angles. And really, you want to keep 5 alive, but that dink is immediate from Farley. Uh-oh, overwhelmed. Team kill, though. That will help. cello, only 20 health. Could get chunked very quickly here. Oh my god. This is terrifying. Full eco. Astralis are really trying to bleed what they can. Config's got it. But nice shot from Jota. And he comes in to save his low health teammate temporarily. But he will secure the round. 5 up for MIBR. Forget the damage. The conversion's all that matters.
Yeah, I think it's kind of reassuring that cello's had a bit of impact in these last few rounds. Like in the pistol, right? He gets that double up over at long. He's starting to find his way back into this a little bit more. He's also the guy making like first contact here on the long play. You know, I think with him being kind of the more experienced voice within this team, I think it'll be important to have him pumped up. I kind of see him as almost like the spirit level for this squad, like gauging where the emotion's allowed to be at. And he's had very little reason to be happy so far. Hopefully that can turn around. He's taking more liberties as time goes on, starting to make his way up through connector now. However, you want to try and lurk Blame F. Blame F lurks, you lazy look. Oh, never mind.
Wow.
cello, ready for it. Blame is gone. Just moved off the angle. Right as cello moves in.
What a recovery from cello. From 2 kills in the first half to that big pistol double on long. And now he's picking Blame. Very, very nice start for MIBR. But what will the response be, Astralis? I've read that MIBR have left connector. Jump spot for exit on the long side. Ooh, careful. Ooh. But still 3 strong on A. Those barrels, the silencers, man, they can peek out. Don't move a muscle, cello. Woody will find Config in middle, and right now the dueling is coming up All MIBR. Astralis going to try and hit B. How Monster they go. Not much defense here.
Yeah, Turtle oftentimes is entrusted with the solo play in towards B to facilitate these heavy stacks. He might be here a lot, but it doesn't mean he's going to be able to get away with a lot. Flash through, he's trying to make a play, but Glave's seen him. Smoke spam goes a long way, but there's Jota with the trade. Farley's all alone, can't cross out as he's spammed, and that smoke fades. And MIBR, there we go. That's the hype we've been missing out on.
Careful, I think at this point all you do is trigger Astralis into max mode, man. Like all they're going to do is go crazy now. Those screams, they weren't happy to hear him in the first half. They came back in with some upset rounds of their own. But yeah, I'm glad MIBR, their head is still in the game. Rightly so with some of the rounds we're getting out. Nice double up from Jota in the B-bomb site. Farley jumps out. If Farley doesn't jump there, he probably makes it. But you always want to try and, you know, like skate around the air, try and strafe rather than walk in a straight line. But it's his head poking out above the top of default that lets him down. Oh, that's a very deep smoke on the fly. Forget the molly, man. Astralis have to respect it. They even throw a smoke expecting the Molotov, but it lands in playground instead. Nice combo for MIBR, but it doesn't matter. Astralis are rushing B. Well, rushing, walking, same thing.
Hang on. MIBR are going to come to them. Farley could get caught with nades out on this smoke fade. Uh-oh. He's a dead man. Now, there's a lot more bodies inside of the little tunnel. Whoa, we're going to have to start to deal with him. Glaive goes running in, but he's dead after one. And Turtle will hold the line, doubling up over in Monster. It's all on Blame F, who's out in the connector right now, all alone. There's no one else here. There is no one within even like 50 meters of the guy. How do you measure a meter in this game? I don't know. Just kind of guesswork, but... Right now, Blame's the guy trying to get back on the throne, trying to be the ruler. Maybe there he could tell us how many meters away they are.
Nice. How tall are the agents? That's what I want to know. They 6 foot?
I like to think so. Got to be 6 foot to be anything.
Any fellow 5'11" and 3/4ers?
Oh, 3/4, nice.
Oh, yeah, 3/4. They're the most important part. Well,
Blame
the last quarter would be a little more important, but Blame... I mean, surely not, right?
He's looking for 4 quarters to make a whole round out of this one. 20 seconds. He's got himself a gun. And they all just go swinging him together. Turtle is there to close. And yeah, man, I got to say, I think it speaks volumes just as to how often they're willing to put Turtle in solo B anchor spots, as to how much they entrust him with this bomb site. It's clear he's super proficient down here, right? And I think one of the reasons I do like watching him down on B is like, solo in the B play is already just kind of mental enough in and of itself, but also he never really gets caught out. A lot of the times he's like super safe when he needs to be in those solo spots, but he still plays to actually fight for the site. And it's like he's trying to take 2 out of the round with him a lot of the time. Whenever he has support, it gets even easier. Imagine that.
Crazy.
Zip Smoke went through the Molotov, so he's delayed getting out on the short side, which is a bit of a shame. He will still flash in and try to take this control a little bit later. MIBR building back into this one. Astralis can feel it. We can feel it. And they want to get back to winning again, so they're hoping. They've got a formula for it in this one with a bit of con control.
Great flash. Gets the AWP off of the angle of connector. Now, the party molly, or playground molly, did miss for MIBR, but the nade put Farley down to half at least. Cello, and this late activation. Dinks config. That's pretty good for a one-and-done spot more often than not. Exit, he can just kill Freebie in the toilet. They were never considering it, and Config had already left, so it's not like Cello's Exit's even boxed in. He gets back to the bomb site. Astralis regroup B in a 3-on-4, but hey, when Turtle's alone, he can be dangerous. Now he's even joined by Jota. Playing a very safe setup. They have no utility to set up monster flash peaks or cut out these choke points anymore, so they just have to try and take their fights. Jota can sell Turtle's position so well by making first contact. But Astralis 20 seconds, walking out monster, holding the flash for Config to pop into default, and they've got to go plant. Uh-oh.
Moving in, they need to get this bomb down. They've got to clear out Turtle, and I mean, once again, right, he was here alone in the beginning, and now he's got guys to help him out. There isn't time for this. Config dead with the bomb, and that's their fate decided. Blame F just going to scooch his way on out of there and into the next round. MIBR with this CT side are starting to find their footing. They're looking more positive. They're sounding more positive. They're getting hyped in the rounds where they deserve to get hyped. And Astralis going to call in their first tack pause. I think that speaks volumes, really. In that first half, they might have lost the pistol. They then went on a bit of a tear. Every round they lost, they were convinced that if they just got straight back into it, they could find their footing again. And they were right to assume that. They did every single time. The best that MIBR could manage were solitary rounds that were immediately returned upon by Astralis. But that's no longer the case. It's no longer so certain for this Astralis squad. And that worry's starting to creep on in. So now they've had a moment to talk to Trace, talk to him as to how they want to approach this next round. Try get those nerves calmed back down again.
Yeah, excellent util on that B side for MIBR, considering the 2 players that were actually B anchoring had nothing left. Those rotates completely saved the exit. Molly default caused quite the problem in getting the bomb down for Astralis in a round that was already very low on time. Woody shows Con, but he gets out before the Tech-9s close the gap. Config hasn't locked him in either. He's got long, which is an open gap. Exit spams Con player. Glaive grabs the gun. But again, Config is the man right now. He is the guy to look out for, and I think he's realized how much room they've given him. Mentally, that timing that they have is incorrect, and they're getting baited by all this mid-util and all this presence. Woody's overwhelmed. There's another AWP. Cello. Oh, they didn't see his barrel. They should know he's here. He fired off. Config, he's going to hear the rotate instead, but Cello, he goes back for it, aware there could be a little bit more. Cello flicks back with a kill onto Config, saving the site from falling under. Cello hits another bomb, gone. Zip grabs a gun, and he's got to pop off in the clutch.
Oh, not going to happen. Cello,
Wow.
there it is. Big multi-kill in the round. This guy started the map 0-8. 0-8 before he arrived on the board.
2.5. 2. He's rising up the ranks, Harry. Incredible round. And even though Config, he had the perfect call, Astralis were very quick to get out middle. Maybe too quick. Should have given him a little bit more room. They weren't ready for a double toilet setup with 2 orbs. Now it's just Woody, who is, again, having a very quiet one. But every kill matters, as we've learned from Cello. Never too late.
Oh, they flashed to take short. Now, this is info that Astralis have thanks to Zip. Oh, Blame is screwed. That nade's sailing his way. It only did 2 damage. There's another one.
No,
oh, no.
God.
So close.
Blame's
so
made of
far.
magnets. He's made of magnets. They're pushing the forces away. You can't get him. Ah! Every time he should die, a mistake happens. Is that the way in? Ooh, big take.
On a real
Wow.
timer, but he's going to flick back just in time. And this is already a nice lurk out of Zipnik's man. He's just going to get out of there now, right? That 1 kill is enough to kind of stave off the B aggression, keep them back. They've read it. No, MIBR
They
are
have
going
read
up.
it.
As if they see who it is. They go, now we don't buy that for a second. They go up into the
Oh
A side
my
to
God.
reinforce it. Util now starting to rein in. Astralis committed to this one. They could still elect to duck down Con, but that timing's starting to elude them. Now they've got to commit. Now they're committed to this A play. Util going over into the 4-man stack. MIBR, they took a gamble. They've got everyone here. They hold the line with a double. It's Cello again, lighting them up. And even though Zip trades 1, it's not enough to win the round. Config, 5 seconds to make this happen. And even though they were both giving him this fight, they were both giving him the chance.
No.
He doesn't attempt the 1v2, saves the AK. It's an MIBR round. In spite of going a man down early, they completely outread Astralis.
Dude, it's mental to even say this, but it's like one of those rounds. If Zip doesn't get that kill, Astralis probably win it. And that's just because MIBR make the perfect read. They see Zip lurking outside a monster. They take all that short control and they go, you know what? I'm going to call the bluff. Zip gets a kill, he leaves, and MIBR are already 4-stacked. Not just 4-stacked, Harry, but they re-aggress on A. Those A players push toilets. They get close. They completely constrict Astralis with 20 seconds. They have done their homework today.
Yeah, and it's things like that for someone like Woody who isn't having like this incredible game, it's like making that gamble call at least makes you feel like, okay, no, but I've got the read. I might not be winning every gunfight, but I've got the read on these guys. We're in control of this.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we've already spoke about the recovery from cello. It's just been a treat to see. Like, I'm not used to seeing him just completely fall off the face of the earth. Looked like he was in his own head a lot. And bear in mind, MIBR, they go from forgetting the bomb in round 15 because they're so deflated to now screaming again. Now they're hyped. Now they're believing in this comeback. The nades are beautiful to open up. So much damage done and not an opponent seen yet.
Yeah.
Astralis is going to try and go fast here. Going to try and change it up a bit. They take long very, very quickly. And they've got a lot of room here.
That was 110 damage nade.
Woody's coming back. He's seen it. He's spotted a lot of bodies out on the long side. And he said, guys, I know we got numbers down on B right now, but I think it's looking like this A play, looking pretty speedy. And so now Woody can't reflect in the calls. He's got to hold the line with the AWP. He has teammates coming in to help, but Exit's gone. And so Woody needs to do the heavy lifting. Flash for a peek, but the shot does not connect. His teammates are here to hold the line, though. And so even if he falls, there's still a chance. Blame with a double. And now just Jota left to beat. Up through the toilets. Blame's going to find him. And it's flushed away on that one. As Astralis come in with a clutch on Blame F to finally put up a T-side round.
It's what we've been waiting for. The entire first half, individually, Astralis were just outclassing MIBR, completely decimating them in those head-to-heads. Config Flame finally destroying. We needed a clutcher. We needed a hero. We needed a savior for Astralis to remind MIBR who they are playing. And Blame will be that guy. Despite the reads and rotates that MIBR have made perfectly all CT side, Blame pops off in the 3-on-1 and saves Astralis from a devastating comeback. It's only one round, but it's at the first of the T side. It's the mold made for Astralis. Can they squeeze into it? 3 more. Double monster setup. Farley is solo mid, but only to throw a bit of util. He's going to regroup immediately. They're going to go. Nades are out right now. This is not good for Turtle. He's going to get caught. His teammate's dead. He throws out the molly, somehow doubling up. That is sickening. Jumping. Turtles can't fly. But this guy out of his shell and sends Astralis to hell.
He's like proximity triggered. He's the literal mind turtle, man. And now Glaive back in the middle, looking for a way out of this one. Cello's pushed up on long. Remember that guy who just wasn't a problem the entire first half? Well, now he's being quite the nuisance, isn't he? And he's got all this info over towards A that it's not sounding nor looking like the A play. He's not heard a damn thing. And this is allowing numbers to get kept on B.
No.
Turtle do not go. He's got 1 health. It's so ballsy. It's like ballsy to the point where it doesn't make sense. Another molly. That was the recipe to success last time. He's dropped it in. Just to slow them down that much more.
Oh, they
Here's the tag. He knows someone's close. He knows this is now the B play. Third man's in, but Turtle doesn't need a helping hand. He's in with a third at 1 HP. He's putting up all the numbers, and now he's on for the ace. 4 out of 5. Let's make it a 5th. Just Glaive left on this corner. Turtle coming out of his shell with a really big round right when MIBR needed it. Glaive goes running in, Turtle swings, doesn't get the ace, but he's done his job, hasn't he? And MIBR in with another.
Oh my goodness, MIBR. How were they in this game, Harry? This was a 12-3 half. This was Astralis poised to just run over MIBR, and we've had quite the streak. Even with Astralis coming in with a clutch round to break it, that does not hold Turtle back. A beautiful 4K. No one even fires off of the flashbangs in Monster. They didn't want to give it away. But in doing so, that's exactly what happened. Half by now. This game is very close. Cello, full mid information. They're fast con. AWP was here. But I like this from MIBR. They know it's pistols. They hear them running amok down in the darkness. They're going to get back to a safer angle. Woody. You need to hit these first shots in these rounds because otherwise the pistols are going to get awfully close and the round gets awfully uncomfortable very quickly.
And with every missed shot, you know, that fear, that anxiety starts to grow. And, you know, you're not giving away a baby gun, you're giving away the big gun.
It's a reset, though.
Going to send Config in. Woody's completely conceded. Has Cello up close as that fail safe. And It's not even going to be the A play. Instead, they're leaning B again. Going back into the Turtles' den.
Ooh, not where I'd want to go. This guy's not hibernating right now. Eyes peeled to the monitor. Good flashes, though. Turtle's got to move. They're going to run him down. It's Jota alone. Tech-9's tapped through 2. And Astralis get a default plant. Suddenly armed. Suddenly even more dangerous. And MIBR have to concede. 14 rounds off of a little B explosion. Forcing a bit of respect out of middle with that fast con run. And Config making steps made MIBR play the bomb site. They lost all info immediately. And Astralis just deck him at lower. 5 up as well. 14 rounds now. Doesn't matter how they get there. They've just got to cross the line.
Yeah, dude, I mean, it's just lovely flashes to, like, facilitate that entire play, right? They get all that room at short. They go, all right, we got to use this, right? We got to use all this space that we've been given. And they lob those incredible flashes. They just ruined Turtle's position. It felt like they were handcrafted for him. And it uproots that entire B defense. Yeah, that's kind of the limitation that MIBR faces, that they are kind of more vulnerable to these B plays because of their tendency to play low numbers down there. When it works, it looks really pretty. But occasionally you get faced with a round like that. And in a game that you're trying to launch this comeback in from 3-12 down, it's devastating if that ends up being like one of the key swing rounds now to close this out for Astralis. MIBR, they've been knocked off the horse. They need to get right back on.
Yeah, good space in this round for MIBR. They have B shorts, but Astralis are leaning heavy towards his site, keeping the pressure on Jota. His legs can't be seen atop the railing. Very powerful position, very difficult to clear. Astralis is setting up a monster, but still Farley's on his mid-fake, finding it a reset. The contact, no one's here. Oh dear, look at the timing. The MIBR peel out of this bomb set. They seem assured that one man at the B short side is enough. That's not the case. The flashes at least announce this. They now know what's going on. They can play a 5-on-5 retake. But the penny's going to drop for Astralis. They should be scared of the short side. They don't have that information. Farley's coming for a late lurk, trying to backstab Jota, and he's heard the drop.
Oh, mate, once you hear that drop, that's an invitation. Config's even going deep at CT.
Dear.
He wants these fights. Woody might be on the angle, but he's been kind of unreliable today. Needs to hit this shot at the event of a swing, and instead it's a lineup for Config. Lights them up on the CT retake, and it's only cello left. Config wanted more. He will finally get put in the dirt, but there's no win in this one for cello. He's out of there with the AWP, running away, and they're even going looking for him. 2 up through con quickly. 1 man still in the B site left to hold on. Jello, you're going to be hard-pressed to hold on to this AWP, but he has rooted well and just looks to hold on up in the heavens. They're getting closer, second by second. Glaive's moving in.
Yeah, oh, what an escape. Cello drops B. That's so smart. That is so smart. Astralis were running up A before he had even decided to save in that round. They really wanted to get that gun out. Beautiful work for Config. And Farley right now is having so much impact on these lurks. He's not only pushing back A setups so they don't have info, because compare that to the amount of info Blame got on CT with his mid pushing, constricting MIBR to spawn and B. But also, right there, again, backstabbing Jota, the one guy tasked with the B hold from short. Not even a good position to stop the monster play. Astralis smoked the molly. They've got pep in their step now. A couple of rounds in a row is all they took, all they needed to wake back up. cello may be AWPing middle, but Astralis have numbers here.
I like that Woody's just let cello keep the AWP in this one as well. I think cello's able to find good impact with this gun, and Woody's having a really rough time. So let's see, can cello hold the line? He's been entrusted with the big green in this round. Really the only thing worth talking about. You got these MP9s and Deagles. They can deliver, but you'd love that AWP to set you up. cello tried to get involved early. Knows they've taken long now, though, and so starts to fall back passive. Oh, hang on a second. They've been scarred by times gone by. He started to drop down towards B. Well, reconsider. With the double con setup, you know, with these SMGs trying to play it in connector, You need him to hold long, especially when he knows they've taken it. He will get on the angle, but they're already pretty deep. Moving in, there's going to be a flash to complement this play, you'd imagine. cello smoked off at bank. This is not a fun angle. No one's having fun here. Maybe he catches the first man crossing. Woody will get one down on the short side. Missed shot for cello's orb. And now they're hounding Woody down. They're going to flush him out. Pushing through the bank smoke. cello swinging it wide. And in the meantime, Jota's found one on the banana side. Suddenly a bit of room given. A bit of a chance in this one for MIBR. 2v3. Glaive looks away. Goes to try and help out back in the site. And this is given room to Turtle. The time to strike is nigh. Jota on long, read by Glaive, doesn't make it any easier. Config now, the rounds in his hands, pressured from the truck, and it's exit in bank with the Deagle to seal the deal. MIBR, they managed to pull that one together. The orb, the big ticket item, didn't really have to do a thing. It's the Deagles, it's the MP9 that weigh in on that round and keep MIBR in this one.
Yeah, great, great slowdown in that retake there. Just exit, getting the Deagle patiently in CT and walking all the way down the stairs, re-aggressing, just begging Astralis to push him while he gives room for his team to get up on the big flank, right? Glaive misses like two really awkward timings. The player coming out of connector when he turns around, even though he reads Jota along, it's the A1S that comes out on top, and MIBR, they slowly slip it through. A 12th round, another chance, but up against the odds here. Fast out B short, a pace change for Astralis. He's asked to, no, that's not supposed to happen. Doja wallbang into the B side. Farley gets snuffed out through the wood. That orb removed immediately. He was holding for the boost, for the jump up perhaps. But instead it's a 4-on-4. Zip also smoke spammed a player through Monster. So it's made up for that first player dead. Config eats the grenade. But Astralis, after getting a B pick and losing a man there, they're fine going back up to A. They've got a lot of room here. The AWP is back in Woody's hands on the bomb site. And I mean, Harry, again, it's going to come down to Orpus having trouble on overpass. And this can't happen now. This is the game in Woody's hands.
Yeah, Woody dancing around, playing a game of chicken on these jiggle peaks. The Keeling fields up inside of this A bomb site. Here come Astralis moving in. Glaive at the front of the pack, leading the charge. First kill found. cello on the receiving end. Woody's been quiet all damn game. If there ever was a time, it's now. But he's wrapped on the long side. Config's knocked him out of contention. Bomb. Exit up in their face and brings it back to a 2v2. Having to go back and get the bomb has given room to Jota. Oh my goodness. MIBR. Maybe they can keep this one afloat. Maybe they can take Astralis all the way. Jota's on the angle. Config's dead. The bomb is are up onto 30.
Dude, Jota's flanks right now are winning this game for MIBR. They're keeping them in it, dude. Twice now on this A site. The long flank right there. He hears every step. Config going back to get that bomb is so much info for Jota. He just hangs around the toilet. Felt like maybe there's a world that Config would read it. He was considering Jota on con flank, but the timing was just so good, so fast to activate. And that's because he's taking this B short position every single time in the CT side. Much as how he does solo on the T side as well. Yeah, it let them down in that one round. Astralis came out monster and there was no one B. But in terms of the A hit, it is getting him sped fast in the back line. These rounds are so damn close right now. Some ludicrous entry work for Astralis, but it does fall on dead ears. And 2 rounds, the difference in this map at this point.
And it's just so mental because of how the first half went. Like, if this was the scoreline, maybe you wouldn't even be that surprised. But it's the fact that it started at like a 12-3 in a game that Astralis should be winning. It's insanity that MIBR went from looking so deflated. They looked done, in round 15. They looked like they were over it, like they were already prepared for the loss. And now they're believing again. Farley might have just taken it all away, though. A double up on the long push. cello and exit, both removed from play. And Astralis, in the blink of an eye, have their best chance yet to win Overpass.
They literally can't lose this. Like, Farley's been faking at A so hard without getting any kills, just by throwing util, just by having presence. Now he doubles up. Yes, MIBR may have the info, but they've only got 2 on the bomb site to defend.
Turtle's got to do it all over again. He got a 4K last time. This time, nades out. That was the recipe.
Oh, no.
Jota with the swing. Config's on the receiving end.
What
He's
is-
flanking. Oh, no. Knives are out. And Blame's there to deal with him. Turtle and Jota, 2v4. The bomb's going back through Spawn, and there's a minute left on the clock. MIBR starting to pull players up towards that A site. Astralis are racing there, willing to meet them in the middle. Over at Truck, it's low HP Jota going to play on the dice box. They've seen him with that peak. The bomb's going back to B, down through Con, joining up with Zip on the short side. But guess who's here? The king of this B bomb site, Turtle. Oh, they didn't check for him. They're still going to commit. That's the bomb.
No.
He's dropped it. 30 seconds. Turtle's trying to save the B site all over again, but he can't get the third. It's only Jota to finish what Turtle started, or else Astralis will pick up the victory here. Out through heaven. They've seen him. They know where he is. And he slows it right down. Nades are out, but he's already in the site. And they can play around this bomb with a nade on Blame and Glaive. This is unlosable. Jota would have to fight this and win them both. And with him so low, this might be the end of the line for MIBR. He's on the bomb, the nade goes in, and that's how it ends. Astralis picked this up at 16-13. It's labored, it's not easy, it's not one they're celebrating after the win, but they do get it over the line.
Hey, a dub's a dub, man. But damn,
Touch